Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome. We begin with words of togetherness. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is that we are here together. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Let's do that again. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome. We are, as always, thrilled to be celebrating Shabbat with you and welcoming Shabbat in this Friday afternoon. This is the only way that I know what day of the week it is Shabbat is happening. So that's a really helpful indicator of the week passing. I'm Rabbi Hyatt. Cantor is with me today, leading services. FYI, for those of you that are surprised to see us because you were tuned into the e-notes and you saw that Rabbi Black and Steve were going to be with us. That was a mistake. We were always going to be here because Rabbi Black is at home celebrating his birthday. So we're wishing a big, happy, wonderful birthday to Rabbi Black. Sorry that we're not there to celebrate with you in person, though I'm sure you're having a lovely time and really enjoying it and making the best of it. For all of the rest of us who are not celebrating birthdays today, although some of you may be, what do I know? This week is a lovely Shabbat. This was a lovely week. It was a sunny week. It was a hot week. We are deep into spring, summer, and moving our year along, even though it sort of feels like it's not. And today we start a new book of the Torah, and we will get there in a little bit. But that's always a moment to turn over some of the time that we are spending, and what is traditional when we end a book, we say, Chazak, Chazak, Venit Chazek. We say, let us be strong and may we be strengthened. And that's a beautiful way to pass time, right? That we're strong in the time that we have now, and we are going to be stronger as we continue to go. And so it is with that that we dive into our Shabbat celebration. And we are going to have a few guests that are going to help us a couple of times today. You know that we always will introduce them as we get to our Torah service. But first we have James, Eliana, and Callie Carr and Karen Polsky-Carr with us to help us light candles. Callie Carr is celebrating her bat mitzvah tomorrow. We invite you all to join with us as we celebrate with her tomorrow at 11. But for now, they're going to help us to bring Shabbat in and light our candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu
There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek to acquire. We seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace.
We welcome Shabbat with words of song and joy.
And as we prepare to welcome Shabbat in with the words of Lecha Dodi, first I want to say also a happy birthday to Rabbi Cook. I did not know today was such a rabbinic birthday, but happy birthday to you as well. We're wishing you much, much joy and happiness today. And what a good birthday it is as we enter into Shabbat. I think Friday birthdays are such a joy because you get to just stop and celebrate and enjoy, especially when you don't have to be on the pulpit. And so for those rabbis out there, we enter into Shabbat with dreams and hopes and wishes of peace and of quiet and of calm. And that's what Lecha Dodi asks us to do, to enter in with joy and peace and calm.
And so we do that with words of Lecha Dodi, where we greet Shabbat as a joyous friend. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat, nekabela lecha. Shabbat,
Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Love beyond all space and time. Your love enfolds your people, Yisrael. We receive it in your teaching, your gift of Torah, sacred obligations, discipline, and law. We read together. So let us speak these teachings when we lie down and rise up and find joy forever in your Torah and mitzvot. They are the very essence of life, ours to ponder and study all our days. May we never lose or be unworthy of your love. For you are blessed, the one who loves your people, Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
Teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. And we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Amen. Who is like you, God of mystery and majesty, distant and present, thundering and quiet, the beginning and the end, the atom and the cosmos, the darkness and the light, together, the one and the all, pillar and foundation, artist of sea and sky, author of the miraculous and the mundane, source of life, blessing and sustaining creation. Who is like you, glorious in holiness, to whom we praise, to whom we give thanks? The God who redeemed us from Egypt, the God who parted the sea, the God to whom Miriam and Moses led us in song. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, va'al kol amo Yisrael, va'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Hashkivanu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivanu leshalom. Hashkivanu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivanu leshalom. Ve'amidenu shomrenu lechayim. Ufros alenu sukat shlomecha. Hashkivanu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivanu leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, or rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will.
We rise as we are able, physically or spiritually, for tefillah. La 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la. Adonai sabakatita, ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imot Avotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VaNorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekoneh HaKol, Vezocher Chasdei Ve'imahot, Umevi Geulah Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer, Moshia U'Magen. Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid HaTal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishanei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Meimid, Umechaya, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Ata Lechayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah Kadosh, V'shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim B'chol Yom Yalelucha Selah, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We take a moment now for silent prayer, the prayers of our hearts and minds. And we sit in silence for just a moment.
This past week, we marked Yom Yerushalayim, the day on which we remember and celebrate the reunification of Jerusalem, our holy city. And in our Jewish tradition, we yearn for not only our actual city of Jerusalem, displayed so beautifully on the slide right below me, but we also believe that Jerusalem is a heavenly construct. Jerusalem is a mentality. Jerusalem is a place that we yearn for completeness, because that is what is included in its very name, Yerushalayim, that root shalem, meaning wholeness, fulfillment, and peace. And so as we remember what it felt like to bring these halves of the city together, we also remember what it feels like for us to unify the pieces of our lives that are disparate right now. And so we do that with this ancient, relatively, and beautiful melody written by Naomi Shemer. Avir harim zalul kayayim vereach oranim nisla beruach habayim im kol hapamonim uftar demat ilan vaven shvuya b'chaloma ha'ir asher badar yosher uveliba Yerushalayim נחושת ושל אור, עלו לכל שירייך, אני כינור, ירושלים של זהב, ושל נחושת ושל אור, עלו לכל שירייך, אני כינור. אך בבואי היום לשיר לך, ולך לקשור כתרים, קטונתי מצעיר בנייך, ומאחרון המשוררים, כי שמך צורבת השפתיים, כנשיקת זרח, אם אשכחך ירושלים אשר כולה זהב, ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, עלו לכל שירייך, אני כינור, ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, עלו לכל שירייך, אני כינור. As clear as wine the wind is flying, the scent of pines abound, as evening light is slowly dying, a lonely bell resounds. So many songs, so many stories, these lonely hills recall, a city filled with ancient glory, and at her heart a wall. Yerushalayim shel zahav v'shel nechoshet v'shel or, עלו לכל שירייך, אני כינור, ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, עלו לכל שירייך, אני כינור.
We arrive now at our Torah service, and as we prepare to listen to our words of Torah, our Torah being read, and to share in that occasion with a couple of guests who I will tell you about in a moment. As always, we take a moment first to learn about our Torah portion and to know a little bit about what it is that we're going to hear and what it is that we are going to read. And so I want to orient us. We are in, at the moment, the book of Bamidbar. We've just started it. And it's the fourth book of the Torah. And we're at the very beginning of this book. And Bamidbar means in the desert or in the wilderness. And we almost always read this Torah portion in this weekend, which is also the week before Shavuot, the holiday of Shavuot. And if you've been tuning in with us over the past couple of weeks, you know that we count from Passover to Shavuot. Passover, we celebrate the Exodus from Egypt, and Shavuot, we celebrate the receiving of the Torah. And in between, we're wandering. But the 50 days in between Passover and Shavuot actually were much longer, as we and that wandering is much longer than that. We're in the wilderness for years and years. And so we have to sort of ask a question as we think about this idea of Bamidbar, of the wilderness. And the rabbis say a lot of things about a lot of things, but they say some really smart things about why we have to stay in the wilderness for so long, and why it makes sense for us to receive the Torah, the the scroll that we're going to celebrate the receiving of on Thursday when we celebrate the holiday of Shavuot, why we need to celebrate the receiving of the Torah, why we need to receive the Torah in the wilderness. Why wouldn't we want to receive the Torah in the land of Israel? Israel is this homeland to us. It's this important, we are promised Israel as far back as Abraham, this land that we are going to have this emotional and religious connection to. Why would we not get the Torah in Israel? Why would we need to get it at Mount Sinai in the wilderness? And so the rabbis tell us that we need to be in the wilderness, in the desert, to get the Torah, because the desert is different. The desert has these attributes, this feeling that helps us in our receiving of the Torah. What does that mean? I'll tell you. If you've ever gone to the desert or to the wilderness or to the mountains and just taken a moment, you probably have realized that it's quiet. Quieter. The sound is different. When you get out of the city, you can hear all kinds of noises that we don't listen to in the city. You hear the wind, you hear the trees, you hear the birds and the animals and the pop and crackle of the normal sounds of nature, things that we don't hear in a crowded, talky city. And so the wilderness has this special quality that we think of being quiet. Now, when we think of that quiet, of that silence, we find that actually silence is a really important part of Judaism. It's a really important part of our tradition. When the people received the Torah at Mount Sinai, we hear and we read in the story that the thunder was booming and the lightning was flashing and that the earth was shaking and it was cacophonous. So the giving of the Torah was not in its own right silent. But we have these later moments. In fact, the prophet Elijah goes back to that mountain, to Mount Sinai, later in our tradition, and hears there this still small voice. It's a voice you might remember hearing about from Rosh Hashanah. We talk about this still small voice, one that you can only hear there in the wilderness. Silence is really important to us because it's only in silence that we can hear. Midbar, bamidbar, is the same root as medaber. Medaber means to speak, a speech, right? The act of speaking. And medaber is a speaker. Medubar is that which is spoken. And perhaps we have to be bamidbar to hear it. I think right now we could use some silence. And I say that not because we're all making so much noise. In fact, it's been really quiet. I'm a runner and I am just starting to find that the streets that I run on in the neighborhoods by my house are filling up with cars. For weeks and weeks, I've been able to run in the middle of the street. It's been so quiet. People haven't been out. Recently, I've had to stick a little bit more to the sidewalks than I have been in a long time. So what quiet do I mean? I've been getting a lot of questions and having a lot of conversations from everybody who has to start making decisions, because as our world begins to open up, the questions of how we live and how we engage and interact with the rest of the world is falling more to us and less on those that are in decision-making positions to make decisions for us. And so we're asking these questions of, what does it mean to send our kids back to school, or to send our kids to day camp, or to let our kids have play dates, or to allow our kids to have babysitters? And should we be seeing grandparents, or should we be seeing family? Or if we're in a group of less than 10 and we're wearing masks, and we're socially distanced. Is it okay? And how many times a day can I see people? And how often can I see people? And is this okay? And is this bad? And do I need to change my clothes when I come home? And should I travel? Should we go to the mountains? Can we rent a hotel? Can we rent an Airbnb? It's a lot of questions that we have about how to make life livable within the boundaries of the world that we are trying to navigate safely. Now, let me say very clearly, I'm happy to have these conversations with anyone, because sometimes you just need someone to bounce those ideas off of. I am not a medical professional. I do not give medical advice. As always, ask your doctor, consult a medical professional if you have questions. And always, our job is to follow the rules, right? Whatever rules are being put forth for us from our community, we need to follow. But outside of that, once you've done that, and you're within the boundaries that our society has set up for us right now, but you're just not sure if it's right, I think we need some silence. Go be bamidbar. That might take place in your house. It doesn't mean you have to go out somewhere. But we need to find a way to shut out the noise and the voices of social media and of the people around us, and of the protests and the defenses and the memes and the comments and the news, and check in with our still small voice. Are you comfortable? Does it feel right? Do you feel safe? Only you can answer those questions for yourself about what it looks like for you to emerge from these very, very distanced times into a world where we are very carefully figuring out how to be in the world around other people. Nobody else can answer for you whether you're ready for your child to be around another person. Nobody can answer for you whether you are ready to send that kid back to a rule-following, socially distancing school. Nobody can answer for you whether it's time for your kids to see their grandparents. Nobody can answer for you whether it's time for you to travel, or for you to branch out a little bit, or for you to have happy hour with your neighbors if you're 6 feet apart. Only you know. Only you know where your threshold is. And so I invite you into the midbar, that wilderness where you have some silence, you shut out what everybody else thinks, and you listen to your own self as you make those decisions. Every one of our spiritual leaders in every tradition goes into the wilderness. Moses did it, Muhammad did it, Jesus did it. We always need a little quiet so that we can hear ourselves, hear what God has to say to us, hear what our still small inner voice has to say to us. And this is probably a moment where we could use a little bit of our own input rather than everybody else's. And so as we enter into the book of Bamidbar, of being in the wilderness, I wish for all of you that you have also some of that wilderness, some of that silence, some of that quiet, to hear what's around you and to hear what's in your gut and what you have to say. Your inner voice has an answer for you if only you can listen and hear what it has to say. Shabbat Shalom. We move now into our Torah reading, and as always, we have some very special guests that are going to join us. First of all, as I told you before, we are going to be celebrating Callie's bat mitzvah tomorrow morning. We are so excited to celebrate with her. In case anybody was thinking about joining in but needed a little bit of an extra push, Callie has a beautiful voice and is going to be singing quite a lot for us tomorrow. So feel free to join us and watch her go through this incredible moment with her family around her. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. So Callie is being joined by her family, Karen Polsky-Carr, James Carr, and her sister Eliana for the opening blessing and closing blessing of the Torah reading. And then we are going to hear the Torah reading by our very own Michael Charney, who's going to be reading from the beginning of the book of Numbers. And then we're going to hear a translation from our Board of Trustees member, Ken Feldman, who we are so glad is back in the United States. It's been a little while, but he was stuck for a minute outside. We're glad he's back. And then the Carr family will close us out with that closing blessing again. And so we turn now to the words of our Torah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambarach. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Li'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Ve'ele toldot Aharon u'Moshe b'yom diber Adonai et Moshe b'char Sinai. Ve'ele Shemot b'nei Aharon habechor Nadav va'avihu Elazar v'itamar. Ele Shemot b'nei Aharon hakohanim hameshuchim asher milei yadam lechahem vayamat nadam v'avihu lifnei Adonai b'hakriva eisara lifnei Adonai b'midbar Sinai. Uvanim lo chayu lachem vayachen Elazar v'itamar al pnei Aharon avihem.
This is the line of Aaron and Moses at the time that the Eternal spoke with Moses on Mount Sinai. These were the names of Aaron's sons, Nadab, the firstborn, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Itamar. Those were the names of Aaron's sons, the anointed priests who were ordained for priesthood. But Nadab and Abihu died by the will of the Eternal when they offered alien fire before the Eternal in the wilderness of Sinai, and they left no sons. So it was Eleazar and Itamar who served as priests in the lifetime of their father Aaron.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natam lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'dochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Beautiful. Everyone, thank you so much for your participation and for that gorgeous Torah reading and Torah translation and blessing. It's such a pleasure to see people on video as we go through this and to be, it feels like we're really celebrating Shabbat together. We turn now to our Mishaberach, our prayer for healing. And before we get to the prayer itself, I just want to take a moment to talk about the Mishaberach and to say a few words. This Mishaberach, this prayer for healing that we do, this moment where we pull all of the people in our lives together, we say their names, all those people that need these prayers of healing. It's a moment that depends on the power of community. We rarely say a Mishaberach when we are alone. We say it when we're in these moments together. The collective voices that we have singing together and praying together make this moment so powerful. And especially now, as we know that there are so many who are in need of healing for so many reasons right now, this moment becomes even more important to each of us. And you may notice today that our list is a little longer than usual. That is okay, because we know the weight of this moment and how important it is to our community. We want to remind you that we cycle people on and off the Mishaberach list pretty regularly. And so if we take someone off too early, or if someone is ready to come off, please let us know. Send somebody at Temple an email. We all will get it eventually. And even more so than those names that are on or off the list, we want to make sure that everybody knows that it's not the list that makes the prayer powerful. It is those names and those people that lay in your heart or in your mind or in your voice. So the names that you say out loud at home or that you type into the comments box on Facebook have just as much weight and as much power as they would if I had read them out loud tonight. Hold those people in your mind and in your heart as we join together tonight for the words of Misha Berach, our prayer for healing. Tonight we are praying for Zachary Hoffman, David Karner, David Lustig, Marcia Richter, Martin Indick, Kara Gluscoder, Paul Kamensky, Dr. Catherine McCallie, James Francis Clark, Natalie Mosher, Corey Franklin, Julie Borodkin, Andy Friedman, Rabbi Jonathan Brown, Julie Horwich, Margaret Glubach, Dr. Howard Miller, Bob Connolly, Chaya Kayla Rubin, Lori Markman, Jody Goldman, Shanti Hazan, Robert Tucker, Sandra Heller, Jennifer Brynan, Lynn Pollitt, Sarah Lynn McIntyre, Neil Levin, Erwin Chaim, Arthur Gilbert, Wendy Weil, Estelle Gottesfeld, Patty Lampert, Renee Cutler, Mike Flanagan, Ben Levy, Iris Hoffman, Kathy Luzzy, Jack Fisher, Stephanie Eisenstadt, Josh Goebel, Ken Siegel, Molly Lanfear, Michael Goffman, Gabrielle Blank, Lenore Brown, Georgiana Yoshioko, Dorothy Rosenthal, John Gilbert, Nancy Frankenthal, Nan Perlman, Dana Huss, Barbara Wetzel, Merrick Bob, Jane Schlossen, Barry Merkman Schwartz, Larry Markman, Joy Hurdy, Claudia Hirschman, the Marquez family, Irene Brower, Sylvia Rahat, Eliezer Rahat, Sloan Caston, Meg Flateau, Robert Dansky, Stan Gottlieb, Marilyn Tepper, and Shirley Shapiro. If there are any other names that you are thinking of, please type them into the box, say them out loud at home so that we can all pray for them together. And as always, we pray for all of those that are on the front lines right now in our current world who are fighting to keep us all safe, the healthcare providers and essential workers who are putting themselves in harm's way so that we can have the care that we continue to need. And we say together, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mekor HaRefuah, blessed are you, Adonai, the source of all healing.
As Rabbi Hyatt mentioned earlier in the service, we have been counting counting toward our holiday of Shavuot, which is coming up this Thursday, and you're going to hear a little bit more about that later. We are almost there. We are almost moving toward Revelation, toward the moment where we receive the Torah and where we also receive the bounty of the harvest, which is why there's a picture of wheat that is right in front of me right now. And while there is a kind of an agrarian reason that those two are layered on top of each other, there is also a spiritual reason that those two go hand in hand, right? We are blessed with abundance of food at the minute that we are blessed with abundance of Torah. And so we now are going to read the last Omer reading that we are going to read together as a community before we get to 49 and 50. So we read, "The creative God is the one who made us co-creators of this created universe. We cooperate in the seeding of life. We participate in the coming of justice. We cultivate the ground. God created the world, yes, but then gave it to us to develop. We have made it what it is. It is faith in this God that raises us up from our tombs of oppression and sadness and want and fear and pain, to begin again doing our part to make the world a laughing, loving place. There is no reason to assume, for example, that God will end nuclear weaponry. If the world ends in a nuclear blast, it will not be this God who did it. We created nuclear weapons and we can end them ourselves. In the light of everything we have been given, we have no grounds for blaming God for our losses. The call to faith is not the call to surrender to a grinning, ghoulish God who tries creation for the sheer delight of trial. What are we called to believe and in whom? We are surely called to believe that God who is everywhere is with us. And we are called to believe that this God is energy and love. Not the Grand Inquisitor, not the great circus master, not the indifferent professor who does distant research on our lives. God is the one who made for us a good world and walks with us to hold us up as we go. Sometimes in the face of the God of life, the most faithful thing we can do is simply to keep on living. So, why this now? Why are we speaking about this moment right now? Because we are almost there. We're almost at Sinai. And we are told in our Torah that the Israelites stayed at the base of the mountain for 3 days before Revelation actually happened. That is this week. We are this close to being at the base of the mountain. And so I think there's a natural tendency for us to start to imagine, what is this God? What is this source of revelation? Why, perhaps, do we not feel more of that presence in our lives at this moment? And so for this week, I hope and encourage that you will take some time to really imagine for yourselves, what are you counting toward? What is revelation to and for you? How are we going to feel on this 50th day when we welcome enlightenment into our hearts? And so we count tonight that today is the 44th day of the Omer. So we say our blessing, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer, which means, blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has sanctified us with your commandments and commanded us to count the Omer. Hayom arba'av arba'im yom, shehem shisha shavuot u'shnei yamim la'omer. Today is 44 days, so close, which is 6 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. And we now continue with Aleinu, And that sky looks almost like what our sky might look like any minute. So we are going to rise as we are able, physically or spiritually, as we begin the conclusion of our service. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. And as we join together today to think about those who are no longer with us, we are remembering those who we have lost in the last week: Terry Dufresne, Jacqueline Lewin, William Raffeld, and Joni Talpers. Those who we have lost in the last 30 days: Clayton Clark, Ira Cohen, Selma Cohen, Merrill Emmett, Sheila Ginsburg, David Justman, Nell Tossing-Levy, Daniel Littman, Barbara Manis, and Ralph Titcomb. And we join with those names, those who are for whom we are observing a Yortzeit this Shabbat, the anniversary of their passing in seasons long before: Adolph Abraham, Ben Balaban, Gilbert Balkin, MD, Coleman Sanford Barnett, Chaplain Donald Beers, Dora Barenbeim, Jacob Berkowitz, Hannah Schwader-Berry, Dr. Maurice Chernick, Charles S. Cohn, Jonathan David Cutler, Minnie Epcar, Zelda Fink, Louis Gersten, Francis M. Goldsmith, Louis Goodney, Marvin A. Horwitz, Sam Camlett, David Kevel, Faye E. Commisero, Samuel Chris, Frida Lekach, Lynn W. Lehman, Evelyn Cantor Link, Marcia Brooks Lustig, Henrietta Bonnie Milstein, David Myron, Michael A. Moore, Hyman Olkovich, Keith Olson, Simon Rabbi, Phyllis Apple Reckler, Mina A. Rosenthal, Michael David Schatz, Abe Schiff, Benjamin D. Schwartz, Max Siegel, Nathan N. Schulman, Nellie Schwader, Solomon Schwader, Rita J. Sigmund, Celeste Lewin Sobel, Bernie L. Weicker, Augusta W. Weinberg, Martin Weiss, Harry A. Zellinger, and Morris Mandel Zivin. And we join with those names, 10 of those from the city of Colleen, for whom our Colleen Chapel is dedicated: Ada Fleischner, Dr. Richard Fleischner, Valerie Fleischnerova, Max Frankenbush, Eleonora Frankenbushova, Gustav Freund, Ivan Freund, Karel Freund, Oscar Freund, Ada Freund. And so we join together with all of those names and any others for whom you are saying Kaddish on this Shabbat, and we join together in the ancient words of the mourners' Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala ubizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam ule'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha brichu le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim alinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom alinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, Amen.
Oseh shalom imromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'yimru
And a few announcements for you as we conclude our service or almost conclude our service today. First of all, tomorrow at 9 o'clock a.m., right back here on Facebook Live, you can join us for Young Family Shabbat. Rabbi Black and I are going to be co-leading Young Family Shabbat. I believe Babka and Neil and Yanko will all be there. So it should be a total either disaster or delight. It should be so fun. So come and join us and be there. It's going to be great. At 10 o'clock a.m., Rabbi Baskin is going to lead us in Torah study. At 11 o'clock a.m., we'll have our community service with Rabbi Black and Steve Brodsky. And also at 11, we are going to be celebrating the bat mitzvah of Callie Carr. Let me tell you, if you are joining us for that, and we will certainly make sure that it pops up on our page at Temple Emmanuel, because of some details of technology that I will not get into, we have started an amazing new thing, which is our Temple Emmanuel Denver B'nai Mitzvah Facebook page, where you will be able to find those videos that are live, the B'nai Mitzvah videos. But let me make it clear. All you have to do is come to the Temple Emmanuel page at 11, and you will see both the community service and Callie's bat mitzvah pop up. If you want to, whichever one you want to go to, you'll click on. They will both be here. You don't need to find any other pages because we'll share it. Okay. If you have questions, reach out. We'll be around to help you navigate that. And then at 7 p.m. tomorrow, we will be celebrating Havdalah, sending Shabbat out with songs, and Schwader Camp. We will be having some Schwader guests with us, and Schwader's hosting Havdalah with Cantor Sachs and Steve tomorrow at 7. Now, a couple of other quick things so that you know what is coming up. And of course, it always is long announcements on the week of a holiday. Last Sunday religious school is this Sunday, 10 o'clock in the morning. We will be having a musical service and teacher appreciation. They have had a lot of work to do to get us back online for religious school. So come and celebrate our teachers. And as you may have noticed, Shavuot is happening. It is this week, May 28th, Thursday. We are having a community-wide Shavuot celebration. It's going to be awesome. There's all kinds of people teaching. 5 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. And if you would like more information about that, you will find it on our Facebook page, on the Jewish Colorado Facebook page, in your email, in your e-notes. Ask one of us and we'll get you the information you need to register. For that, just keep an eye out, and you need to register to go to any of it so that you can get access to the webpage that has the links. Those are not public. You have to submit a registration in order to get it, but it's very quick and easy. Mitzvah Day is shortly thereafter. It will be Sunday, May 31st. It's a day dedicated to Tikkun Olam from home. And there are lots of ways to participate. We're having donations, project kits, community mitzvot, monetary donations. There's more information at our website. As usual, go to the social justice tab at the top, pull it down, and select Mitzvah Day. And as always, watch our Facebook page for live and recorded events and other posts and things to be involved with and ways to connect and spiritual moments. And keep your eye on the e-notes. And with that, Cantor Sachs, tell us about Kiddush.
I would love to. We are so excited to welcome Eliana and Callie Carr to do Kiddush. As we have mentioned many times, Callie is going to be coming bat mitzvah tomorrow, and she sings so beautifully, so we're very excited that she is going to be chanting for us. And Eliana, who is shortly going to become bat mitzvah, not too long, knows so many of her prayers and blessings that we wanted to give her a chance to show off as well. So here are the Carr sisters leading us in Kiddush for Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam barei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsha be'ahava uvratzon hinilanu zikaron le'aseh v'reshit. Ki hu yom tehila lemigra'e kodesh zeher litziat mitzrayim ki vanu haharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodsheha be'ahava uvratzon hinhaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
And we say, Amen. And now we transition to Motzi, where if we have challah, we uncover it proudly, and we sing together, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. We conclude our service this evening with words of strength, with words of hope, with ancient words that conclude Shabbat, with an ancient melody that stirs our souls and helps bring our heart into a Shabbat of rest. Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra le'ed nasa v'chefso kol azai melech shemo nikra.
Eloheinu ve'Elohei kol dorotenu, God of this generation and of every generation before and after us. We thank you for this evening of prayer, of song, of music, of spirituality, of community, of togetherness. We're so grateful for the moment and the opportunity to be together, to join together, for the technology that allows us to have turned this crazy virtual space into true and real and authentic community. We wish for all of you a Shabbat that is full of being in the midbar, in the wilderness, a Shabbat of silence, a Shabbat of hearing your own voice, and also, of course, a Shabbat full of noise and laughter and singing and being together with the people that you love, either in person or across screens, because that is community too. We hope to see you tomorrow for the rest of Shabbat, and we wish you all a Shabbat Shalom.